Darby? I don't know what is going on. Like,
it worked, but it said I had to rotate my phone. Can you see me?
Yeah, it said the same. And I did all kinds of rotating and.
Oh my gosh.
I'm my phone. Oh, here we
Hey,
go.
hey. Okay, so I don't know. Oh, okay. Hi. So the same people can see. That makes sense. Okay.
Hi.
I love it. Okay, good. Here we go. We got everybody waiting for us. We had a couple people that were on the other one that we had to switch, so I kind of left that other live there.
Hi,
Hey,
Shannon.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, I don't see anybody chatting. Oh, here we go. Maybe I do. I've joined as a guest, so I don't get to see everybody, or I do. I don't know. Oh, bravo.
Oh, no, this is terrible. I am so sorry, Darby. If I
That's
was at
okay.
home, it probably would work, but...
No, it's working. It's all working.
Good.
It's all good.
Can you see it? This is Darby's show, by the way.
Listen. I'm so excited. We have some people on here. We had a bunch of people on the other page. I'm gonna give like 2 more seconds here to get everybody going, and then we can start chatting. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited that we are getting to chat. We don't get to see your beautiful face. The sun is shining on you, so you're like white with this lovely red hair and these glasses. There we go. Now I can see you. That blue really works. That blue really works with that red hair, too.
I know, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It's very eye-catching.
I was trying to make the posters, and I was like, is blue? I feel like blue is the color. And then I was like, I don't know. Maybe you're pink. Okay, so... Okay, so we'll just get chatting, and then everyone can kind of pop on as they want. Now, I wanted to just talk because you're doing huge things for breast implant illness, which is so exciting. I got to chat with you a little bit earlier, and I mean, even more than I ever even knew, which is so exciting. And I'm so excited I get to chat with you today about it. Okay, so I know you're a huge advocate. You're helping people. You're helping so many people. You're talking to people. And you've got this huge project going on. I want to know how you got started with all this, a little bit about your story. Just tell us all about it.
Oh my goodness, where do I start? Well, I mean, obviously, I had breast implant illness. I explanted on February 1st.
Amazing.
I'm Racheal, and a lot of people were asking, like, who's Racheal Blaze? Well, that was my media name when I was in combat sports, so I was known as Racheal Blaze. And we did it for both so that people who were in my industry could jump on and be like, oh, she's going to be on talking.
I know, because a lot of people were asking me on my posters, like, who is this the same person? And I'm like, I think so. I hope so.
I did media work for combat sports and did modeling as Racheal Blaze and
So cool.
different social events. I did charity events in Chicago. So it was a good thing to put that on there so then I could get some of my fighters on there, some female fighters,
So cool.
so that they could recognize. But yeah, I mean, I just explanted February 1st. I had my implants. I had Allergan saline implants for 12 years.
Wow.
The last 8 years, I was very, very sick. But when I first got implanted, I did show signs, but nothing that would correlate with breast implants at all.
Wow.
And so the last...
Was it like autoimmune stuff? What was it that you were seeing?
In the beginning, it was like acne. I had really dry, flaky skin. And at the time, I was getting a lot of facials. I'm Irish. I'm very pale. So I was trying to keep my skin very, very clean looking.
Yeah.
And I didn't tan at all. So like, I'm not a tanner. And I was just getting these weird things like blemishes I've never had. I was getting really dry, flaky skin. Like there was no moisture in my skin on my face.
That's a heavy metal thing too.
Yes.
I have a lot of women that don't even have implant illness that are having just a side note really quick, is women with those copper IUDs. This is something I was talking to someone about today. There's a clamp that they're putting in women now for fertility, and it's metal covered in silicone. So some of these women have no clue where these side effects are coming from. So a lot of this, this devices thing that right now is being looked at with the FDA is bringing a lot of that up. So that dry skin, I can relate. I was having a similar thing, and my metals were through the roof. Didn't mean to interject there. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. And then it progressively got worse. So like the last 8 years, I was really, really bad.
Oh my gosh, that's such a long time. 8 years.
8 years of chronic pain, fatigue. I got diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia.
Jeez.
just like, and I did like a rundown a couple days ago of like how many symptoms I actually had. And I did the front and back of a page and then another page. So I had about 65 symptoms,
Oh my
which
gosh.
I didn't know I had that many, but I had to write them down because I'm talking to an attorney and he's like, what all were your symptoms? And so I jotted them down, and some of them kind of made me cry because I
Yeah.
remember I couldn't get out of bed one day. Like it felt like I was paralyzed. I couldn't move my legs. It was like my brain couldn't send a
Oh
signal to my legs to move my legs.
God, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Now, so in comparison, then and now, in your 9 weeks,
I'm
9 weeks
9
out,
weeks post-op. Yes.
how are the symptoms now?
Oh my gosh. I'm definitely smiling a lot more. I'm definitely back to
Yay.
myself.
And
I
you're working, you're out. I mean, you're 9 weeks post out and you're like cheery and super happy and bubbly. And I mean, I talked to you earlier and I was like, I need some coffee because she is sounding good.
and it's crazy because I know we were talking. I did this treatment yesterday with my homeopath, so that's why I'm a little flared up. Don't worry,
You look
guys.
beautiful. You look beautiful.
I don't want anybody to be like, oh, it wasn't her breast implants. It totally was, because I
Stop.
promise you. So what I did was yesterday I went to my homeopath, which I see every 2 weeks. He did I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's like a light therapy, and he stuck these paddles underneath my armpits and then right up here on each shoulder, like
Wow.
in the front here. And all I did was made this weird like zapping noise. It was like weird, but I could feel it working because I was like, okay, like
Was
right up here.
releasing.
Yeah, and on the back of my ear right here, there was a bump here, and then on the back here there was a bump, and they're all going down. Like today,
Wow.
I don't even feel
That's
them,
cool. I'd like
but
to know what that's called.
yeah, I will
Yeah.
send. And actually, I posted it on my wall on Facebook so that everybody
Okay.
could know what the treatments were that I was doing. I kind of broke out a little bit in hives, and my face broke out in little splotches. And I called my doctor and I said, "Yo, what's going on? Because I'm panicking."
Help. Help.
He's like, "Racheal, your lymphatic system was blocked. That's why you had the nodules in certain
Yeah.
places." And he
Can you
said,
breathe better now? Do you
"Oh
feel like you can
yeah,
breathe better?
yeah, yesterday my nose was running profusely. I was peeing all the time, and no, I'm not pregnant." And then he
I do
said,
that and I'm not pregnant.
"I know, right?" And he said, "You're gonna be releasing, and so like eliminating," and which I
Right.
did, and it was a very strange. I don't even want to
Wow.
tell you what it
So
was.
probably a lot of metals and chemicals and all that. See, but
What?
that kind of stuff is important to know because people think you get your implants out and then boom, you're done. But you do have work to do. You have work to do. Keep detoxing, which is, I had a baby, so I couldn't detox. So I just weaned him this weekend and I got blood work done and I have parasites and metals and I feel amazing, so much better, but still there's still work to do is the point, right?
Yeah. Somebody just asked. They said nodules behind the ears. I'm curious about this.
Like
Um,
lymph, yeah.
yeah, they're like lymph nodes that are behind the ears, and I would get them all. I don't have them down my neck anymore since I explanted, but they're behind my ears. And I used to get nodules underneath like my armpits, and I had
Yeah.
nodules like in the groin area where the
I
crotch
still
is.
I still get one. I still get one
Yes,
too. And it's a flare up from lymphatic, right? Because it's
yes,
blocked. Right.
yes. And he said that, I have a lot of toxic buildup. So let me tell you something else I found out. So not only did we suffer from, heavy metals and toxins from our breast implants, but if you've ever had an MRI or a CAT scan and they put an
Yeah.
IV in and they gave you this dye, there is a class action lawsuit
Oh
against
no.
that manufacturer, which an attorney has contacted me. I'm reviewing all the paperwork that they sent me.
Oh no.
Um, but the company told all these
Contrast.
the contrast told all these medical professionals that you will just pee it out the next day. But they're finding out that that's not true. It stays
Oh
in the
no.
body. And so
Is it it's metal?
it's metal. So that's what they get to get
Oh
it to
gosh.
glow in
Oh
your
my
body.
gosh. Oh,
So I mean, thank God that somebody from the group told me this last time when I got an MRI of my breast, when I had my breast implants, they wanted to do a dye contrast, and
Said
I'm
no way.
sorry, I fibbed a little bit, and I said I'm allergic. I can't have that. They're like, well, what happens when you have it? I said, oh, I break out in hives. I didn't want it because everybody
No.
told me not to get it. But before then, I probably had 3 dye sessions in
Yeah.
my body. So that's a
I
lot
had a
of
similar.
toxins.
I lied
Yes.
last time too. I
Yes.
lied. I was like, no more chemicals. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to refuse things, especially when they're injecting things into your body. But
So listen, I want to know about your documentary. So
yes.
I love, you know, we have so much to talk about, and I just want to know, I want to hear about your documentary. I wanted to make it up there, but like I said, I have a little person, and my life is not my own yet. So I'm going to live vicariously through you and all the amazing stuff you're doing. So tell us about your documentary.
Okay, so actually, the documentary is TV's film production here in Chicago. Um,
Cool.
yes, there's actually a couple directors, co-directors. There's a sound person, lighting person. Like it's a whole production. But it started with,
Real deal.
yeah, it started with me. Um, they interviewed me and my family, and talked about breast implant illness and stuff like that. And then I was like, maybe we should get other women involved. Like, I would like to see other women involved in this. And
Yeah.
that's when he was like, okay, let's do it. Let's plan it. It took a lot of energy from me to plan it, put it together, put
I
a
bet.
date, because I'm not only dealing with women from all over the place, but I'm dealing with the film crew too. So
Right.
I had to work really hard. And in fact, the next day, I don't know if you saw my post, but I flared. I was not feeling
I
good. I
bet.
had another migraine. That's the other thing. I've been getting these migraines, which
Now,
consistently.
did you see that mercury is tied to migraines? Like that is one of the number one. I just had my metals done and they found tons of mercury. So I'll give you some tips on how to detox that later on. Sorry, go ahead.
This Darby. It's so sad to know that we have all this crap in our body, and I'm sure these manufacturers know all of these
Yeah,
things,
I
but
know.
they're not telling it.
Well,
you
think about
know
our food, not to get on a soapbox, but they're spraying our food with Roundup. They're finding all of these cysts and tumors are made up of and have glyphosate, which is Roundup in them. And there's only a couple products that are actually removing it. I have my family on one. My kids, we all take it because no matter where, it's in your tampons, it's in your clothes,
yep.
it's in your yard, it's everywhere. And I mean, it's in your Q-tips, it's whatever, it's everywhere. And it's the same thing. There's metals and this and that, and you just have to be, you can't be sad about it. You just have to be vigilant. You can't
Yes.
be sad because otherwise you could be sad all day long. Instead, you have to just focus and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be vigilant, and I'm going to just keep trucking, because what else can you do?
And it takes time. I thought, okay, so I heard other women talk about having flares, and it took 6 months, and then they didn't have any more flares.
Yeah.
Like rashes, people like me who had like outward symptoms like rashes.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh no, I'll just get these out and I'll be fine. No, I got my first flare on Sunday because of all the stress. And
Yeah.
then I went to get treatment from my homeopath, and woo, that was like woo. I'm
Well,
like,
when the liver is toxed and taxed, you know what I mean? So it's just, that hot water with lemon in the morning. I started doing that with Thieves, which is Young Living, but there's another brand now that has the same thing and it's cheaper. Sorry, Young Living people. I love Young Living too, but that I started doing that in the morning. It's supposed to be good for mold, and the hot water and lemon for your liver. And I'm just trying to do everything I can. That cracked cell chlorella is supposed to be good for the liver.
yes.
Beet, that
Actually,
is
I have some of that. I have
good.
some. I haven't
Yes.
started it yet.
Make sure it's a good quality, because if not, then it has metals in it. So just make sure
Okay.
just check where it's the manufacturer, where it's from, and all that. Um, but beets, that's another one. So before you sweat, it softens your liver. So you take there's beet powder. There's a couple formulas that I really like. Make sure you go organic, and There's one with cordyceps, and it opens everything up. So it softens your liver, opens everything. And then if you're going to go sweat, do that, and it will help just get it all out. Didn't
That
mean to
sounds
start
awesome.
talking too much here. You
I
get
have
me
a
started
feel,
on my stuff.
I have a feeling I'm gonna be picking your brain a lot because
Yes.
I want to get my body back to, I don't know if, I kind of feel like, are we ever really gonna get our body back to the way it was before we
Yes.
got implants?
We're going to be better. We're going to be better because we know better, so we'll do better. We know better, so we'll do better. And think about it. Would you have ever done all this detoxing and helping? I mean, you have groups all over, right? Support groups all over. Would you be doing all this natural detoxing? Would you be helping all these people if you had never done that? I mean, if you didn't go through that, me either. And there's a lot of health stuff that I wouldn't have even looked into for my family if I hadn't gone through all of this stuff myself. So I guess it all happens for a reason. I'm not going to say I'm grateful for that lesson, but
I have definitely learned a lot. I mean, Dr. Davis told me when I had my session with him, he said that my adrenals, I'm still having issues with my adrenals.
Me too.
I'm still having issues with my liver. He said my liver and my kidneys are they're overworked. They're toxed right now.
Okay, so I'm having a similar thing. You got to tell me all about it because I'm listening.
He actually, I don't know the name of the supplements. It is a medical grade supplement. So like
Cool.
they're very expensive. They are not like they're not
they always are.
Yes. And so it's not like going to Fruitful Yield or going to Whole Foods and picking this up. No, this is like made in a laboratory and it is like a medical grade.
And are you feeling any different taking it yet?
Actually, I do. I mean, I've been taking the iodine drops. That's been helping my thyroid. My thyroid actually is doing much better now.
Yay!
Which is exciting. I'm losing weight, which I mean, I don't even know how, but I am. And so it's just kind of like a touch and go. Like today, he told me, he said, Rachel, I want you to take 6 pounds of Epsom salt and soak in the bathtub for
6
45
pounds.
minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Like, 6 pounds? Where am I going to find that from? But
that's a lot.
So
I feel like you should do a live of your feet while you're in there giving us a play-by-play.
I'm totally going to do that, but that'd be funny. Yeah, 6 pounds of Epsom salt. And I'm like, what does that do exactly? And he's like, it draws the toxins out. So
I've heard of that. Not that much.
Yeah. And he was explaining, like, when it comes to the, right now your body is just going to expel it any way it sees fit, whether it be the skin, through the eyes, through the butt, through the urine, through the, whatever it is, those toxins are going to come out. The body is going to get rid of it any way it can. And so it was funny because I noticed, I was like, I got hives on my arm, but they don't itch. They're just like little hives.
Your body's just getting rid of toxins, pushing it out. They say your skin is your second liver. So when your liver is when it's taxed and toxified, then it starts pushing it out through the skin. And that's how you know. That's how you know with a kid when something's going on, when they start those rashes. So I love this. This is absolutely, moral of the story is there's still work to do. Be positive and try to go natural. Try not to put more chemicals in your body. Get rid of it. Drink lots of water. Focus on that. And I can't wait to see your big deal documentary, bringing it back to that. Okay, I know we got to wrap it up here, but we have so many people asking questions, and my husband just jumped on. Hi, hubby.
Hi, hubby, whoever you are.
So awesome. Okay, well, awesome. Rachel, you're amazing, and you're a delight, and I feel like we should meet back after your documentary gets started so we can even talk more about that. And I want to talk all about your support groups and everything that you're doing.
We're going to be going to Iowa May 4th, 5th, and 6th. Des Moines, Iowa. We're going to be interviewing a surgeon there and a couple of ladies there as well.
Awesome.
We're going to have probably phase 2 of filming. We're going to do some interesting interviews. So it's going to be some fun, and then it's going to be emotional at the same time.
I cannot imagine there's going to be a lot of dry eyes, because I know, just my husband and I were just talking about what we went through, and you don't think about it until you have to tell a story about it, and then you're like, wow, I went through that, I lived through that, and I'm tough. You're right. I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, yeah, that's right. It's a lot, but I think it's awesome, and I love everything you're doing. So I'm just so happy and honored that we got to talk today.
Yeah, I'm glad that we got a chance to talk, and I'm hoping that, like, this is something that I was talking about. Like, I did a group, a support group called the at first it was Chicagoland, and then we Adam and I decided to change it to the Midwest, only
Cute.
because there was bordering states around Illinois, and there were no support groups in those states. So
Wow.
I'm hoping that more women or somebody will come forward and take over that state and start a support group. My firm belief is that every state should have a support group.
Okay,
Um,
so she's calling anyone listening. If you want to start a support group, message her.
yes, I think everybody, whoever wants to take charge and wants to support other women and do group things, like we plan on going to Springfield, which is the capital here in Illinois, and we
Awesome.
plan on trying to do whatever we possibly can here statewide, and see how far it'll go. I mean,
I love
everybody
it.
could do that in each state. Everybody, and I was thinking, I'm like, my attorney said something to me. He said, Racheal, there is a loophole in everything. If
Yeah.
you can find it, that is your way in.
So cool. I love it.
So,
And well, here in Florida, we have a nightclub and a plastic surgeon on every corner. So
wow.
I meet women. I mean, I get phone calls, text messages, emails, people messaging me with no picture because they don't want anyone to know who they are. All week long. And I mean, my group is this big, by the way. Breast implant illness, detox, and healing. Come and join the group. And Racheal, go ahead and drop your group too and all your awesome stuff that you're doing there. Follow, follow, follow.
Well,
We'll share everything.
I have the family group. It's understanding breast implant illness for spouses and family members. Don't
I
mind.
love that. I just
I,
jumped that one.
I have my team member, like my teammates that are getting in the truck. So
All right.
don't
Well,
mind.
listen, we'll let you go. And it's been a pleasure. And I'm going to talk to you soon. And if you have questions, you can reach out to me or Racheal. And if you're going to start a group and you want to do a support group, let Racheal know and help the world. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Leave
Mwah.
no woman behind.
That's right. Racheal, you're awesome. And I'm going to talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Darby.
Bye.
Bye.